Hello and welcome to the virtual enlisted meeting for November. If you want to be counted present for this meeting, even though you weren't there, make sure you watch this all the way through and then fill out attendance at the end. If you don't fill out attendance, it will be as if you did not watch this at all. These are the things we're going to go through. It's a bit, but I'll try to get through them quickly. The biggest recurring issue we have in the Corps right now is respect, especially respecting commanders. Talking back to commanders is not something that we will tolerate within the Corps. Making excuses as to why you are going to disobey your commander is not an acceptable reaction. You always need to follow what your commanders are telling you to do and do it, and then afterwards you can ask them a question, you can ask them to elaborate, and you can work through the chain of command if you disagree. But just because you disagree with an order does not mean you do not have to follow it. Next up, PDA, sitting on desks, food in the classroom, all of that, using phones in the classroom, using earbuds without permission in the classroom, all those sort of things. I know I went through them in the first enlisted meeting, so I really don't want to go through this again. Just make sure you're on your best behavior when you're in the classroom, especially PDA. With PDA, handshakes are usually okay, but anything beyond that is super frowned upon. I know I'm not perfect, and I'm working on this too, but we all need to work together to try and knock those habits out, especially in uniform, especially during COVID. Whenever the other teachers, administrators see hugs happening in the hallway, in the classroom, in uniform, it looks really bad on us in general and looks especially bad because of COVID. Going to attention is something that your flight commanders and sergeants should be talking to you about. If you're in Delta, you don't have to worry about this too much. Once you get into the Corps, you'll get briefed on it. But whenever someone higher on the chain of command than the flight commanders comes into the room while we're in uniform, we're all going to go to attention. The flight commander will call you to attention, but you should be prepared to be able to go to attention and then have them release you from it. These are your APs and your principals. The people in the bottom right are from the FM9 campus, but they are also in charge. Make sure you recognize these faces. You don't need to necessarily need to be able to match a name to a face, but just know if any of these people walk in while we're in uniform, we will be going to attention. Okay, going back to uniform respect. The uniform represents the United States Air Force. What we're wearing is the actual Air Force uniform, so you need to treat it like it is a valuable, respectful article of clothing. Wearing it should make you feel proud to wear it. It represents something greater than you, greater than me. It represents something greater than all of us, which is the United States Air Force. Even if you don't plan on going into it or into the military at all, they've done amazing things, and it's an outstanding organization that you need to respect, and you need to be respectful of how you're presenting their logo. That logo is on our Class A, our Class C, it's on our polos, it's on our PTs. So even if you're wearing jeans with your polo, so it's not a Air Force uniform per se, it still has the Air Force logo, and you need to be on your best behavior. On uniform days, which are usually Wednesdays, you need to be wearing your uniform for the entire day. There are some exceptions if you have a career center class, if you have athletics or band afterwards and you need to take it off. That's fine. The main issue is with people putting on their uniform for ROTC and then taking it right off for no reason. The uniform is something we wear all day and something that we demonstrate that we are in the Corps all day. You should have gotten a plain black mask to wear with your uniform. Again, we use the Air Force standards, so you should be wearing that black mask all day with your uniform. Some new issues that have come up. Chain of command. Chain of command is the ladder of power that works through the organization. It's even if you don't know the exact job word, the exact chain of command, you can you can just know that colonel and sarge are above the flight sergeant, are above the officers in the class, are above the enlisted in the class. It doesn't take that much thought to put that all together. That being said, you need to be able to find who is most related to an issue you're having. If you're having an issue, do not take it straight to the top. If you have a question about how to wear your ribbons, do not go to Colonel and Sarge to ask them that. Talk to your flight commanders or a returner that you know. If you have a question about drill teams, go to who you know is the drill commander or representative in your flight. Do not go to the cadet group commander, Sueda. If you have any questions, you can always come straight to me. I'm your representative. If you don't have my phone number, shoot me a WebEx and I will give that to you. But besides going straight to me, you need to work through the chain of command, not going straight to the top. Salutes have become an issue. They're getting sloppy. If you have a question about how to salute, please see someone in person. Virtual is not great for that. But know that if someone corrects you on your salute, they're not trying to be disrespectful. They're just trying to help you. Sorry about that. Okay. Next up, males and females can now both hold doors, be road guards, carry heavy things, and everything else of the sort. In the past, we've had a chivalry attitude. We've said that we are being respectful to females by holding doors for them, by letting us carry rifles and stuff for them so they don't have to. But especially now during COVID, when we want to minimize touching and just a general attitude shift, we are having males and females be treated as equally in that regard. So whenever we're marching and there is a door, it's the second cadet, not the line leader cadet, the cadet right behind them that goes and gets the door. As you walk through, make sure you say, "Thank you, sir," "Thank you, ma'am," or "Thank you, gentlemen," and "Thank you, ladies," if it's a double door. And yeah, cool. Just a little change you guys need to be aware of. Ranks. I'm sure you guys know what ranks are, but maybe you don't know what ranks mean. Ranks correlate with jobs in the Corps and with time in the Corps. Jobs and time bring responsibilities, but they also bring privileges. Being able to make your own choices, being able to command other cadets, those are privileges. But having more core work and having to be an example, those are examples of responsibilities. Ranks demonstrate what level you're at. So if you see someone with a higher rank, you need to show them respect because obviously they have more privileges and responsibility than you do. On the other hand, someone with a lower rank than you should also respect because they have time to climb up the chain of command. They have time to get jobs, get more time in, and climb up. Enlisted, NCO, and officer, those are the different big chunks of ranks. Enlisted is most cadets. Non-commissioned officer, or NCO, is the cadets right between enlisted and officer. And officers are the 3rd and 4th year cadets that have the top jobs within the Corps, and they're the ones in charge. Rolling promotions are how you get through the first 3 ranks in the Corps. Airman, Airman First Class, and Senior Airman. Whenever you join the Corps, you're an Airman Basic. About 40% of the... Sorry, I'm looking at my statistics here. 36% of the Corps never gets past Airman Basic. It is super easy to get past Airman Basic. All you have to do is pass one Class C inspection, which if you're in class, you've already done that, and take the rolling promotion test. Talk to your flight commanders about when you can take that and what you need to know exactly, but you should be doing that as soon as possible, this week or next week, and then you will get your ranks either next week or the week after. To get Airman First Class, it takes 3 uniform inspections with the Airman ranks. So it'll be 3 weeks after you get your Airman rank. That means by the end of this semester, every single cadet in the Corps should be able to be Airman First Class. In the past, over half do not get to that point. In fact, over half don't get past airman at all. So once you have A1C, and maybe you're going into your sophomore or your junior year as an A1C, you're able to rank up super duper fast and surpass a whole ton of people. Some upcoming events. Veterans Day is next week on Wednesday, the 11th. We'll be wearing Class A. That's the same as Class B, but with your Class A jacket. If you have any questions, talk to me, talk to your flight commander or sergeant, talk to returners. Do not let your questions go unanswered. There's also normally a parade, but this year we're not having that due to COVID. There will be an in-class event that you should be hearing about in class. If you're in Delta, I don't think there's anything for us. I'm sorry. Sporting events. We do have football games still going on. This Friday, November 6th, we have another chair set up, and it is senior night. Color guards and saber arches. Same deal as the past. If you know what you're doing, you know who to talk to. Make sure you stay involved. Drill is back. Starting next week, we'll be having first year color guard and armed. Those are the 3 teams that we felt were most crucial to getting the Corps back on its feet after COVID. They're each going to have twice a week practices. First year during the first time slot, color guard and armed switching between the first and the second time slots. There will be a calendar in the back of the room that shows when those teams will be practicing, most likely on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, great. To wrap up, you can email me any questions. My phone number is 214-769-5432. That's where you can reach me the quickest. For attendance today, make sure you email me your last name and this meeting slot. So I would email gpspt.tx20011@gmail.com, Gesh virtual, and that's all you need to do. We did have a returner chat in the in-person meeting. However, we're not going to do that for a virtual meeting. So get that attendance emailed in, and you will be marked present, and you are all good. Adios.